Welcome back to Dawn of Man HP. We're going to take a look at the transition to the Neolithic era in the game, having done a historical overview of it in the last episode. But first I want to take a look for the first time at capturing animals in the wild. So, when you grab a group like these wolves, you can capture the young ones, but you cannot capture the adults. They only have the hunt option. So we definitely want to capture the young ones. That'll add to our dog population, and we will hunt the rest. And meanwhile, the village of Inception, when last we saw it, was the 31st year. We're now in the summer of 32. It's a little bit over a year later. Population above 40, and we have 10 knowledge out of the 22 we need to get going on farming. So we're getting there, but we've still got some more work to do. Need to gradually boost up our knowledge, and the wolves are just all relaxing over there. Everybody's going to be coming along. Our demographics are looking pretty solid. Got 3 additional pregnancies coming, and pretty good mix. A little bit more youth than older. Prestige is gradually rising. Strong welfare, no major problems. Okay, here comes some fighting now as our hunting party comes along. There's one wolf down. A couple dogs making over here to fight this wolf by themselves. They took it down. Alright, now we've gained a knowledge point from hunting wolves. And then what we have over here is... Let's see, are we there? There we go. This one has started. This is a taming job. So we start taming the wolf, and then they have being tamed and taming here with the adult who's going to work on it. We actually, this one is still wandering over here, has not actually been. We'll have somebody come along soon to deal with that, I am certain. Let's go ahead and speed this up to get this wolf tamed a little bit quicker. They do take quite a while. Not a huge amount of time, but there we go. So now, if we take a look, it's turned into a dog with maxed out stats. And we are about shortly, as they carry back the fruits of our kill, to boost up. There it is. We tamed the other one. And now we've got our first point in domestic population of animals as opposed to the human population, because they've moved up to 10, so we'll get more. We'll move up to 15. And of course, all of those are dogs. So just a temporary boost to our dog population, but more there just to demonstrate the process. Of course, for now, dogs are the only animals we are capable of capturing and domesticating. The continually increasing pressure on the food supply from the population has led to another series of changes now as we continue to expand outwards. Yep, we're hiding some oryx. Our circle of the area that we are having to use for hunting and gathering, and now we're going to do some more fishing. So we're fishing all the way down here on the river. Then we'll cycle back the other way, all the way over here, and we're even using the lake some now. And because of the curvature of the shoreline here, one fishing spot can actually cover 3 different zones. So all of that is necessary just to sort of keep pace. You can see we've got a lot of extra skins here, but that's just because we need to hunt in larger and larger volumes. So definitely looking forward to getting the additional food supply that we're about to come into. It seems there was always something more that needed doing. Next was a new storage tent, as our current capacity was running low. And then in the spring, beginning the 34th year, we have reached our goal. Serial domestication, unlocking the Neolithic. Yay! Whole bunch of stuff is going to happen. Let's just take this one bit at a time. So, we have this new plant button down here. And we can use that, but where do we want to use it? Now, if you recall, come back down here to the river, my goal is to basically take this whole like U-shaped area, this whole valley. Perhaps we can see it better from the side. There we go. We got the hills, and we want to just enclose all of this area as where we're going to expand. And because of that, we sort of want to farm outside of that. So if we take and plant, now there are many other things. You only get 3 of the 4 grain types, everything else, but we can do these. And each of these types has a different advantage. They are not just cookie cutter. So emmer gives you a 25% increased yield in grain. Einkorn is 25% more resistant to disease. Barley, 25% additional straw. But where do we want to go? And I've decided to come over the hills this way. There's this hill here. There's a bit of a bare area here that's fairly flat, and then figure we could expand out this way or out into these open areas. Seem to be as good as anything. It's a ways away from the water, and it's not a huge distance away from the village, but it is separating this whole upper area that we're not going to want to use. Okay, so where do we do this? Well, to begin with, I want to do the einkorn and the emmer for additional grain and resistance to disease. And you want to split them up as much as you can, because if one type of crop gets diseased, the disease won't jump like from einkorn to emmer or from barley to rye or whatever. So you might lose all of one type of crop, but if you retain the others, then you might be okay. So I want to just use this area back here, and you just kind of do a little plots. I'm going to go 3 by 3, and then I'm going to do another 3 by 3. You can see that's the einkorn. And then let's go ahead and plant some emmer as well, and see if I can not botch this too badly. Yeah, that's gonna get a little bit into the rocks there, so only get 7 of them, or 8 instead of 9 because of the stone. But that's gonna be okay. So if you figure 17 plots, plus we're gonna get some extra yield off of part of it, and then you get 2 bread out of each grain. Do the math, we're gonna get almost 1 unit of food for each person over the course of a year. And this is just to start things off. We're going to need to do a lot more than that, though. I do want to clear some of this area around here. So I know that's an oak. We could use it for tannin later. We can find plenty of other oaks later. So I want to clear out some more area here in case we want to expand. And let's just get rid of a few more trees around here. Maybe that one. And that should do it. There's some actually nice plants in this area too, so I'm going to throw up... Nope, I don't want to get the sticks. I don't need the sticks. Let's get a work area for collecting plants. Can't remember which one. Yep, that's that one. So we'll go ahead and throw that up, and we'll have somebody that can work on those as well. So you've got another einkorn here too. Get us a bit more grain. And then let's do a couple more... I want storage. I want wood piles. And since we're having these right over here, let's just throw up one there. And I just want to put them sort of between the trees that we're cutting down and then the village itself over here. It's not exactly directly between, but it's pretty close. So we're going to build all of those, and I think I'll just let this go at this point. Now, the reason I want to do this right away is really fortuitous that we got this at the beginning of spring, because obviously spring is planting season. So we get people heading over to do that, and you can see the workload has gone up. And then we harvest in the fall. So there's a little bit of a labor crunch in the spring and a bigger one in the fall for this. We do already have one mortar. It's not immediately clear if we're going to need more than that. And I purposefully didn't plan this out ahead and just decide in advance every little thing I'm going to do, because I want to go with the story here. I want to go with the narrative. We're just figuring this thing out. Like, we've just basically decided and acquired enough knowledge now to where we can invest in becoming more of an agricultural community, but we don't know exactly how much we're going to need. We're going to have to experiment with that. So you can see as we look down here, oh, yay, more knowledge from fish. They're going to sit here and plant, and we're not going to be speeding through the seasons nearly as much here for a while, because we're going to want to see how all of this sort of shakes out. And so this is their sort of planting animation, and they're going to go through everything in both of these fields, and we will expand further in the future, of course. Hey, there's a boar. I normally wouldn't add more on, but this is walking right by us here. Why don't we just go ahead and hunt that? Now, if we take a look at our overall situation, you can see food-wise, we've got about 1 food for every person. I'd like to have higher food yield, but in order to do that, we'd have to extend even further our radius, and we could do that, but now we should get some bonus from this within about a year or so, and that shouldn't be as big of a deal. Now, if we're going to have more people over here harvesting, though, we don't have enough sickles for that. We've got 11 sickles and 46 people. So that's one of the things we want to adjust. We want to up our sickles to 50%. And then we're also going to up the bows and lower the spears, because combat is raiding from other tribes and whatnot. The other tribes aren't represented on the map or anything, but we're going to need to defend ourselves more as the first couple of trees come down here. And so we're going to need better weapons to do that with, and the bow is our best combat implement that we have. Just as a reminder, that's 3 for hunting and range combat weapon. They also use it for that, even though it's not listed on there. And then the flint spear is 2 and 2, as is the bone spear. So we still want to have some spears, but I also want to even them out with the bows. And now they're loading all this up, of course, using our wonderful sledges. And so we're going to add in all of that production as we go. We've got, obviously, now lots of logs and sticks, all that stuff being cut down. Water is fine. We've got plenty of stone, lots of bones. Skins are okay. But the other thing I wanted to show here is just sort of the pattern through the seasons, because at the beginning of each season, most seasons, there's that burst of workload. You can see that we've been going up to maybe about 60% and going down, and that's usually at the beginning of like summer when we go out and gather everything. But then once it slows down, I want to go and do some hunting, because we're actually not going to get any yield from this for quite a while. And I think we did get the boar, right? We did. Good job. Ah, here's some nice deer are probably, we might be able to get them with our bows and better hunting. They might escape, but I think it's worth a try. And let's see what we have over here. Okay, we've got more reindeer. That one's injured, so that's a good target. Not so interested in them. Boar, you're a while away, but we'll go for you anyway. Definitely want to capture that wolf. Let's add another one to our dog population. And so a few times, 3 times a season, aha! Look what we have over here. More cave lions. Let's get them. That's probably enough for now. I'll try to go hunt a few things, again, especially aiming on the predators. And sort of how often I do that is just going to depend on where we're at with the workload. But at the beginning of the season, we don't want to do that. Once things dip down under 50%, I can queue up a few hunting jobs. And if I'm not doing that regularly, then we're going to run very low on skins. As we can see here, let's take a look at we've got 6 more ready to be born. That would take us up to 52, and we have 57 total housing. So we have just enough for where I want to be. Let's see how we're doing over here. I think we've done all the planting. So we just need to go off and get that hunting done. And there is always, always, always something going on. Yay, we did hunt a deer. And also notice that we have deer along with the older reindeer. Let's take a look at these cave lions. Okay, we got that one. And now we're trying to hunt this other one down here. And one of our dogs almost was expired, but did not quite. Beautiful. So all of that is going well. But if we look at our animals, we have regular bears that are on the list. And this is the megaloceros, which is, of course, we may not run into very many of them anymore. In this era and the next one, the animals tend to shift over. We're not going to be seeing a lot more mammoths and whatnot generated, and I think once you go into the Copper Age, they dismiss completely. They aren't even available anymore. And here at the end of spring is our next little bit of hunting party. We're going after some aurochs over here, which will probably give us some resistance eventually. We've got some other things going on. Oh, bison. And our first one of those, because you notice before they were ancient bison, and now they are simply regular bison. And we've got some leather. And summer has hit, so we're going to definitely boost up our workload. But as we finish off all of this wonderful hunting adventure, let's go and look at our fields. How are they doing? There they are. And in the summer, as things gradually progress, I'm sure we'll be able to handle those bison. You can see that we start to see plants. Oh, we lost a dog. That's just sad. I'm sure we'll be fine. And these will gradually grow as the summer progresses. And we're again waiting for the workload to sort of settle in. Now we have no bread, we have no grain, but this is pretty much the last time we're going to see that. I think once we progress to the fall, that's no longer going to be a thing. There's a young oryx. I don't want to go queue up any more hunting because we still have workload issue. 48. Let's see how we're doing. Yep, still on track with population. And she wants a leather outfit, and her morale sucks. We did lose one of the bison. But we did also gather in a whole bunch of skins, and we have these all set up over here. If we take a look at our burial mounds, all of those are nearly empty. So we've been doing very well at keeping our people alive as long as we need to and as long as is possible. And let's see, we're up to about 24. Let's see how the crafter is doing. And look at all that stuff that's queued up. Only 3 people at a time, I believe, can work in this. I could build another crafter. I just don't think it's worth it. We'll eventually get caught up, but we need to build sickles and more outfits for the growing population, and bows, and of course harpoons and knives and all those things. We've just reached a new multiple of 4, which means all that stuff that's on 25%. They want 1 more of those. And so all of this is zipping along. 38 vegetables. Very nice. I think that's as high as it's going to get. Well, hold on. Yeah, why don't we, just going to pause here for a second, because if you're just going to come right through the camp, I'm not going to let you get away with that. We'll send somebody out after you. Yeah, you can zip along wherever you want to be, that's fine. So we're about halfway through the summer now. Once again, the workload coming down. And look at these, of course, much bigger than they were before, but they're not ready to be harvested just yet. So let's go off. Oh, we had somebody die of old age. That's unfortunate. Nonetheless, let's go off on another hunt. We are going to go after this boar. Young animals I try not to go after. I'd rather hunt them when they're older and get more out of them. An old mouflon. That's probably worth doing. And so I don't really... This is not particularly, you know, overly methodical or anything. I just sort of work my way around the camp and try to find a few good targets. I'd prefer to go, actually, at this point, to bigger animals than, like, the ibex, but anything that's, like, the younger ones, I'm fine with if they're going to be a predator, because I want predators to go away. But the game animals, not so much. Yeah, and here's a whole bunch of boars. So let's go after some of those as well. There we go. And since I've already got quite a few animals, I'm not actually going to go after this bison. Otherwise, I would. Okay. So population back down to 48. And again, the hustle and bustle all over the place. Still have a bunch of meat drying on the racks. People are using the totems. Activity, activity everywhere. And we don't need all this wood, but I hope to be able to use that for something else before too long. We will eventually get into that. Let's see. We have our hunting party, it appears, assembling out this way. And let's take a look at how they fare. We've got somebody coming over here with a sledge already. It looks like we've already been successful with at least some of this. Let's pick off another ibex. But it looks like we're definitely going over here to find something. Yeah, this is the boars. Ibex escaped. We also got a couple of kills, and there's one over here still. Oh, that one's running. Where's it going? Could be kind of hard to track it at this speed. We're looking pretty good, though. And with that much meat, I'm just going to hold off here now. I want to get into the summer. Or I'm in the summer. I want to get into the fall. They're going to just go ahead and work on butchering more stuff. I think we should be good. Oh, we lost the cave lion. That is unfortunate. Because it will now have another chance to grow older. And we are going to venerate, what was it, Vorna? And we're back up to 49. With 2 more pregnancies. So we're still fine in terms of housing. I just need to check that every once in a while. Another boar escaped. Unfortunate. And it's just at this point, nothing really needing my attention. Just waiting for the fall, which is about to arrive. There it is. And immediately we spike from 31 to 65%. And now we have all of this over here growing and growing and growing. And we're going to, we've already got a few icons where they're queuing up the jobs. People are going to be grabbing their sickles, and they're going to be heading out that way. And we've only gotten a few more sickles made. We need a lot more. So that's going to slow us down a little bit. And I may even want to go higher than 50%, but for the moment, that's where we are. See, there's another one there. And so they're gradually going to work their way through, but they have to keep up with everything else as well. So it's hard to shift everybody immediately. And one thing we should notice as we do this, there we go. We're going to be cutting all this down. And you don't just have the actual farming job here, but then of course you've got to carry back the straw, you've got to carry back the grain, whereas when you plant, you're just planting it and you're done. But we're not going to a full-on agricultural economy here. We are going to a mixed economy, because even with the food we're going to gain is just going to make things a little easier. We need another sledge. So let's go ahead and throw up. And of course we can do this anywhere. So I'll just throw it up like on this hill, and they'll build up another sledge, and that'll be that. But we're going to help with our food so we don't have to keep pushing out and doing more fishing and doing more hunting and all of those things. But we are not actually going to improve the other situations that we need animals for. Again, we have plenty of bones for building stuff. Yay! 50 population. Now, let's also notice something else here. I keep getting interrupted on my train of thought, but we have to go up to 75 to get more knowledge now. So it's progressively escalating how much more we need to get. And all of this stuff is laying here. That's got to be come up and picked and brought back. But we need the bones, as mentioned. We have plenty of those. We continuously need the skins for more outfits. and for dealing with all of our repairs that we need to do on our buildings or building new buildings. And so we can't go away from hunting to any significant degree. We need to keep hunting and possibly even hunt at higher frequency. In order to transition fully to an agricultural economy, there is much more that needs to be done. We're just beginning in the first sort of baby steps here. But you have to take those first steps before you can take further steps. So now we see halfway through the fall, once again, our workload is down. We may want to take a look at more hunting because we do want to build up some reserve going into the winter, even at this stage. You know what, with some of the hunting we're doing, we probably can afford the leather for it. I'm not sure, but I think I want to build another transport post with a couple more sledges. So where do I want to... I'm thinking somewhere over in this area. I'll just put it between these two. I could put it somewhere else. I don't think it matters that much where it is because they have to haul them off all over the place anyhow. So let's just... swing it around the other way. Yeah. That should be decent. And again, of course, it doesn't matter that much. Sledge here. And another one. Whoops. There we go. Then we should be able to put all those together. Give a couple more people something to do. We have plenty of hunting tasks going on at the moment. And we are still on 10 knowledge per upgrade. Of course, a lot of upgrades to do here, but then as you get into the Metal Ages, the cost will begin to spike on those. We don't have to worry about that for quite a while. And we did not capture the horse, or kill the horse, rather. That is actually not very much of a surprise. And the winter is just still, we kind of want to survive this. I'm mainly still watching our situation with the mortar and flour supply. Because it feels to me like it's pretty even. Yeah, we're out of flour again. Okay, I'm going to build another mortar. I'm going to get another one up. And I think, because most of these are oaks, if I remember right. Oak, oak. Yeah, it's a cherry tree, also an oak. So this is probably not a great area to build a house anyway. It's on the other end of the camp. Let's go ahead and, there we are, production. Throw up a mortar in that clearing. We'll use a couple more stone for that. And then we'll be able to process the grain that much faster. Good use of the sledge. Let's give some credit to Balgok for that work. And now we're going to get moving. Flint is exhausted. So there is some more out here, and I want to... Nope. There we go. I want to use up the stone and flint when I have to get new areas over this way, just to clear out areas for additional future farmland. So, obtain flint, and here comes the snow. We'll just throw up another area and clear that out. That may be all of the drama for the winter. You can see our skins, again, going back down very quickly. The need for constant hunting is just very strong right now. And if we watch, yeah, okay, now we're starting to build the backlog of flour. So I think 2 mortars is the right amount for our current settlement. And our crafter should be able to gradually get caught up. Definitely low on the skins outfits at the moment. But our workload is very nice. People are relaxing as the winter goes on. I think we've well adjusted to what we're able to do usefully at this point in time. I just want to see how this additional bread affects our food supply going forward. And it's spring again. The planting has been completed. We've got more hunting going on because guess what? We're out of skins again. We had to build another house, residence, cut down another tree. The circle of life continues because we're, gradually upping, and now we are up to 20 residences. And how many more will we need? And with that, we have just reached the time to do another upgrade. But this episode has already gone on too long, so that will have to wait until next time. Thanks everybody for watching. More of the Adventures of Inception will continue coming up.